Yes, people, and welcome back to the What's Going On podcast and Normski TV. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and share if you are new. And if anybody has seen my Insta posts, come join me live tonight in Cardiff, Wales. A stone throw from the Principality Stadium, which was known for as the Millennial Stadium, where many FA Cup finals were played when Wembley was under construction. And so I'm in, well, I was going to say sunny Wales. It's raining up here right now. I'm using the hotel's Wi-Fi. It seems to be holding out well. I haven't got all my bits and pieces like my mics and my headphones and nothing like that. So I'm going completely raw. But yeah, it's good to be back on. Yeah, Norms. I don't stop when it comes to streaming and doing the work of the Lord, as they would say. Yes, Calvin, we say, man, big up to you, bro. Hope you're good. Yeah, streaming all the way in Cardiff. I think the last time I came to Cardiff years ago, when we had one of our convention functions up here. And the funny old story to share with you before we go into it. We all came up here, took a load of people up here. We ended up going to a hotel. What we thought was a nice hotel. It was booked on, well, it wasn't booked online. My missus at the time rang it up, booked it all up and everything. Turns up at this hotel. And not gonna lie, it was one of them hotels for truckers, right? And ladies of the night visited this place, and we had to try and explain to the elders that this was not the actual appropriate place to be. Some of them were even crying because they said, "Why you bring us to this place like this?" So in the end, my missus had to pull out all the stops, and we ended up big plug out to Holiday Inn. I think that's where we're staying. We ended up moving to the Holiday Inn and managed to, I can't remember how many people it was. It was a good few amount of people, maybe a good 15 people or so. Got it all sorted out and everything. And yeah, so doing the show from the Holiday Inn, as I said, opposite the Principality Stadium. Being out and about, it's been okay. The last couple of days has been nice and warm, but it's now starting to rain. You know, winter is back, October, you know how it goes, man. Yeah, shame. Heartbreak Hotel. Yes, Calv. Yeah, so yeah, so it's been really nice. We've been out, done a little bit eating here and there, and so on and so on. So yeah, it's all good. So please, as I said, please hit that like button, subscribe, and share if you're new. So listen, I'm not going to keep waffling on the show we must talk about. And first of all, let me bring out Mr. Big D. How you doing, sir?
Yes, sir. All good, my friend. All good.
Good, all good.
Yeah, man.
And how was your weekend? And how's life?
Weekend was good, man. Man, busy as you know, mate. I was down in South London with you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, celebrating your brother-in-law, the Right Honourable Bishop.
Yeah.
And First Lady Kate, your sister. Yeah, man. Great retirement, dude. Beautiful gathering. Not too bad. I actually got back. Like, it was just something to one. I don't know, right? The traffic was kind going back compared to coming down. So yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
Yeah. It was a good catch up. Ez was there. JP was there. Unfortunately, what's the name wasn't there? Chili had a lot to say. What's going on, man? You guys meeting up, not linking up with me, but it's just that a lot of guys that the people that D and J and Ez knows that, you know, they some are families, some as godparents and stuff like that. So that's the reason why Chili wasn't amongst us there, but it was a nice little catch up with us. I mean, 2 days of celebrating and getting some jokes over the weekend. Big up to you, Geezer. We saying, bro?
Yes, Tom. Big up yourself, man.
Big up, man. Yeah, we have got a lot to talk about tonight. In terms of football, and I thought I'd change up a little bit. Obviously, we haven't really got to talk about much about the Premier League because it's the last 10 days. It's been International Week, and obviously the Premier League is a couple of days away. Saturday, you know, we have got a big, massive game Saturday evening against Chelsea, away to Chelsea, who've been in good form, you know, winning their last 2 or 3 games. So, you know, we're not going to just turn up there and think, oh, you know, Chelsea are going to be a walkover. To be fair, you know, it probably will be a tight game because in terms of the goal and the defense, they've got a pretty good defensive record. I think the 3rd best, I believe, in the Premier League, only conceding 7 goals. So, it's just that they can't score, but they can't score up front. But Sterling is doing pretty well, and a couple of other players are doing well, albeit that they've played teams that are sort of in the bottom half of the table. You know what I mean? So the tests will come this weekend against us, and so we're not just going to walk into this game thinking, it's going to be an easy 3 points. No, we know that we can't be overconfident, and we just got to make sure we go in there and do the business. It was a fantastic win, as I said. We spoke about it last week. Beating Man City 1-0, getting that monkey off our back. So mentally, it's good. But I say it would have been good now to just play Chelsea straight after that game, the international break.
Another 2 weeks.
It's
been long, isn't it?
Really long, mate. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, big up Kofi. We're saying obviously you're not on the
show.
Yes,
Kofi.
In the chat. Not much to say about your team, Kof, but yeah, you guys, I'm not too sure. I think you've got the derby this weekend, Everton at home.
Yeah,
so we'll see what happens. We'll see what Sean Dyche will do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, big up to you, Kof, man. Good up to you. But yeah, I mean, before we go into the show, I mean, obviously England have qualified for the Euros, beating Italy yesterday 3-1, going 1-0 down in the first half to Shamak, or Skumak, should I say. And big up to you, Static, man. Big up to you, bro.
Yes, that's it, man. Big up yourself.
Do you know, I was thinking, right, okay, England only really needed a draw to qualify, but comprehensively, second half, they came out the traps. Jude Bellingham, what a player, D. What a player this guy is, mate.
He should be playing for Brazil, really, though, isn't he? I don't want to play for England. Should be playing for I think after what happened with my guys yesterday, man, they stunk up the joint against Uruguay, man. And it was Kofi's boy as well. Kofi's boy. Darwin, he got a yellow card, he got a goal, and he got an assist. So he had a good game, man.
Yeah. Excellent time striker, scoring that, getting that first goal. And you're thinking, there we go. You know what I mean? Knife's going to be out for Northside, not Northside, Northgate, whatever his name is, Southgate. But second half, listen, you got to take it off to Jude Bellingham, mate. What a player he is. I think he got man of the match. I think. I know. What's his name? Got 2 goals. Harry Kane a penalty. Rashford scoring as well. Your man Rashford scoring, D.
So I saw. Yeah. We'll see if he can drag any of that kind of form to United, because he hasn't been good.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no, he hasn't been good.
And you would hope that he would bring that hopefully into United, but I don't know what it is. What's going on with him at United. Him and Casemiro. Do you know what I mean? They seem to have fallen out with the manager or some. That's what people are saying. We don't know.
Yeah, there's just a lot that they're not telling us, Norm.
Yeah.
There's a lot they're not telling us. You know what I mean? But like you say, I think I said the other week, even after we, the McTominay brace got us out of jail, those guys all still look vexed after winning the game, walking off the pitch.
Yeah.
So that tells you that like something ain't right there. Ten Hag's giving it all the blank because he's in survival mode. But if your key guys are not happy, it don't matter. It doesn't matter. The team is not going to perform if the guys that influence the dressing room, and they're the guys, Casemiro, Rashford, they're the guys that influence the dressing room. Yeah. If they're not happy, then boy, I don't know, mate.
Well, look, when it comes to D, when it comes to Man U, bro, I mean, what great news befalls you?
Right, just keeps on giving, don't it? No,
Mr. Ratcliffe, Ratcliffe, bro.
well, I saw Calvin's thing there, and that was supposed to get announced tomorrow.
Yeah,
now
probably, isn't it?
Yeah, so now he's going to go to the board. Now people like Sir Alex Ferguson are still directors and all that.
Yeah.
So I assume if you're a director that you're on the board as well. So it's not even done. Even the 25% thing can't get done right. If you said Thursday is it, and now it's like, no, hold on. Yeah, I think we're rushing this a little bit. Yeah, maybe we just pump the brakes on this 25% sale. So the Radcliffe thing may not even happen.
Well, look, listen, before we go into it, I mean, we could actually start off with that, but just let you know what we're going to be talking about tonight.
Yeah, let's start off with that.
I kind of, you know what it was? Is that's fine. What did we talk about? It's the international break, and not a lot is going on in the football world, and then this whole thing comes out with the Qatar guys pulling out, and so let me just kind of go through what we're going to talk about tonight, and. I thought one of the things I wanted to bring up, and that was really kind of out of a conversation that me and you had, D, and that was about David Beckham. I know you've watched some of the series of David Beckham Netflix, and that we'll want to. So I've kind of tied to the mental fortitude then and now, and the reason why I've typed that because I kind of wanted to look at, like, I don't want to specifically pick out a player per se, you know what I mean, pinpoint any players, but just to see how people or football players are dealing with stuff that's going on the pitch with the manager, off field antics, what players were like back in the day. And I kind of want to go back. I don't want to go back too far. I want to kind of go back to the Premier League era when it first started, because back then, 1991, when it all started, I think it's 91, 90, when it started, we didn't have the social media of Twitter and all of that. That kind of started around the sort of early 2000s, and still it was still quite young in infancy age. So a lot of the stuff that we read was the back page. Let's start out if you made the front, you know what I mean. If you made the front, But today now we know with social media, you players are constantly front page, and I'm not front.
Just out there,
on an actual newspaper. I'm talking about social media. Everything is out there now, and it's how they deal with it, how they cope with it. So I thought, let's look at this mental fortitude then and now, and how players are handling themselves. So we're just gonna have a chat. And David Beckham, obviously, inspiration in terms of how he came through that 1998 World Cup final after getting sent off and the abuse that he got. So we just want to kind of go into that and how we dealt with it. Other players like Tony Adams with his drinking problem, Paul Merson, there's players
like Paul Gascoigne. Gaza was everything, weren't he?
And then players that come into the Premier League, Mutu, Adriano, you know what I mean? These guys going off the edge. You know what I mean? You look at Ronaldinho, a bit of a womanizer, could have gone further, but gets himself into pockets, all of that. And to say, we just kind of look, and people in the chat, we just want to have a conversation about how social media now is affected. And then, Harry Maguire, I think that's kind of what maybe just prompted this whole thing, because he had a little conversation with David Beckham after putting out his stuff out there, saying like, when I came on, we had 100% win rate percentage and all of this, and he's got his family pushing all of it, the media for him and everything, and sometimes they don't help themselves. Do you know what I mean? And then the stuff that's going on in various clubs, you know what I mean? In Man United, we've got the issue with Sancho, with Greenwood, who's now plying his trade abroad. So there's so much to talk about. And then obviously the next one is Man U, sold a dream, but your worst nightmare is about to unfold. We'll see now, because right now we don't even know if that 25% is going to be ratified. Yeah. And then just one to talk about, can Chelsea pass their first big test after the 3 straight wins they've had, where we played them this weekend, Saturday evening. And then, what do your teams need in January to get you, over the line, get you in that top 4? I know Arsenal, we need a few players, as far as I'm concerned, especially a striker, especially a right winger, even another midfielder if we could, because there's talk about Jorginho possibly going to Barcelona on a free, because he's got 6 months left on his contract. Let me just bring in Mr. Chili. Yes, Chili, what are you saying, bro?
Yo,
I like your DP. yeah, man, it's bright though. It looks like there's hope there, Chili. There's a bright light.
You got to follow the light, man. You know that. Go to the light.
Telling you, man.
The problem is, Chili, when flies go to the light, you know what happens to them, don't you?
Right. You call it a fly, first of all.
Well, big up to you, Chili. Big up to you.
Yeah, big up.
No,
yes, Dean.
man.
I know you can't be on for long and that.
Hang on, I've got to pull D up on something.
What happened?
Here's your platform, and here he is.
Right,
go on, my friend. What happened? Yeah.
Didn't you cuss me out when I said that Onana's not doing it right now?
Yeah, but you said it after about 2 games. It's a little different.
I think it was more like 3 or 4, but still.
Nah, man, nah. Straight off the bat, you was on him, and this is the thing, and it's something that Jason said. Because of his age, and he's right. Because of his age, he shouldn't be making these mistakes.
Yeah.
But if you look at the, like we said, the weight of the badge when DeGale came in and him, they've got practically the same record after 10 games. As in, one's got 3 clean sheets, one's got 2 clean sheets, one's conceded 18, one's conceded 17. But De Gea was a lot younger, even though he had experience playing in La Liga with Atletico Madrid.
He was still a teenager, wasn't he?
Yeah, 19, yeah.
Yeah.
So 10 years on, Onana, after playing, when we played Champions League final last season, he's no scrub. And for me, it's mental and the weight of the badge.
I think is what you said. I think that it's that Man United, man. That's a big club, man. You know what I mean?
I think it's just shocking. Plus, there was a comment I put to Jason. He also never expected to get peppered like this. We are getting peppered practically every game. So,
but you're not playing. You're not playing how he plays, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so you look at it and say, look at the manager and say, why did you buy him if he wasn't going to play to his strengths?
Yeah.
Because he's playing the ball out and they're playing it back to him. He goes, no, you're supposed to play it forward, not back to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's comical to watch. Actually, it really is. It's like, my Lord.
And what about the weight thing as well? Do you think there's anything in that?
Yeah, for me, yes, I do. I think he's too heavy.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's got a little chubbiness to him, isn't he?
Yeah, he died too sluggish.
Is that your opinion, or is that are you hearing that elsewhere?
No, this is me. I'm hearing it elsewhere, though. But on the eye, he looks heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's probably carrying maybe 1.5 stones too much. Because his sluggish getting down. And then he's got the dinosaur arms. It's like, bro, you can't be sluggish with the dinosaur arms.
You say the dinosaur.
You know what I mean? Because when you're thinking he's going to stretch...
Leave Pickford 2 alone, man.
Well, you know what I mean? Like, when you think he's going to stretch, his arms are here somewhere. You're like, bro, put your arms out, at least. Yeah, something... Like I say, I think I said his mechanics when it comes to the diving and saving is not right because his feet are good, as we already know. But his diving and hand mechanics just seem off, man. And then with the pressure as well, it's a bad combination, isn't it?
And that leads us on to this whole thing and this whole mental fortitude. And I mean, you look at how Onana's coming to, the Man United side, and as Chile said, is that shirt a little bit too heavy for him now? He's realized, like, bro, because listen, when he was playing for Ajax and when he was playing, especially for Milan, I mean, the guys, you heard pundits, you heard, top Man United, YouTubers, social media guys saying this is the guy. Once we get this guy, and it's almost like the fight. Not saying the fight is because the thing is, 10 out of 4 needs. He still hasn't got the players that he needs. Do you know what I mean?
And the truth, though, he had clangers, right? But not like this. This is a train crash. Like every good goalkeeper has a clanger where they just get it wrong, whether it be timing or whatever, right? But he's having way too many.
Too many.
And even he must look at himself and say, "This ain't me. I don't do this." And so then you got to put it on. Like the fans are unforgiving, as you know. When you go to live games,
the worst one I see him do, it wasn't in the Premiership. I can't remember what it was in, but it was really bad.
It would have been
Champions League. Champions League, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Then
It was the game against Bayern Munich away. And I don't know what he was doing. I mean, in the end, it was so bad. I mean, at the end, he came out and apologized to the fans and into the change room. You know what I mean? And just sort of
maybe you shouldn't have. I think him coming out and apologizing heaped even more pressure on himself because then the next game he made another mistake.
Exactly,
like, bro. Yeah, just get off social media.
A lot of scrutiny and
who's your number 2, D?
It's one brother that came in. I can't remember the man's name.
Italy,
Maybe put him in for a game or two.
Sorry, not from Italy. He's he's played.
That's what
the Greek. Is it the Turkish
league?
Yeah,
he came from the Turkish league.
Yeah.
Now apparently he's decent. Apparently he's even taller than Onana. But my thing is, and it's a weird one because if Ten Hag does bench him, then that's a confidence shot. And then if this guy comes in and is just as bad, what do you do? It's like, you know what I mean? If you gamble and say, right, I've got to take him out the firing line, and then my guy comes in and he's just not good with his feet or his hands as well, then now you've got a dilemma to say, okay, the backup is nervous because he's been thrown in knowing the pressure that the number one was under. And I've just benched the number one, so now I've shot his confidence to say that I ain't got no faith in him. So really, if he does it, he has to almost be guaranteed that the backup guy is going to get a couple of good games under his belt and take some pressure off both of them. And if that don't happen, then he's stuck. I mean, people talk about Tom Eaton, but I don't know if Tom Eaton's still there. I can't remember what happened there because he was going to go elsewhere on loan or something because of that other guy coming in. So I don't even know because when Tom Eaton was deputising, in pre-season, he was having some really good games, and I thought, well, Tom Eaton can be the number two. It was like, nah, it's just a stopgap. But AFC always, man. So it's a hard one. It's wow. Well, obviously, Sheffield Wednesday. We'll see on Saturday. We'll see.
Are you away to them? Are you away to them?
Yeah, we're away to them. Okay. And he couldn't save a penalty for Cameroon as well.
They highlight.
Yeah,
I would drop him for that game.
Yeah, just to take him out of it.
Yeah.
Plus, you can say you're a bit jet lagged. You've been all the way over to your nation, and you could style it out without hopefully hurting a man's feelings.
Yeah.
And just throw this guy in because at the end of the day,
you've said about hurting a man's feelings, and this is why I want to talk about mental fortitude and you look at De Gea. He came in. I think you mentioned it. I think Jay's mentioned it. He was only 19 when he came in, and his first few games. I think you gave the stats. You said the stats.
But even that, no, he was bad for a year and a half.
Right,
De Gea was.
Yeah, right. It was shocking.
Yeah, but why do you think? Oh, obviously, he got the what's the word I'm looking for in terms of to say, well, listen, we believe in you, even though he was looking for the first year and a bit. And I was kind of talking about and I sort of kind of mentioned about the social media aspect of it, like the scrutiny now compared to then. Social media was there, but not on the level it is now, because everything is, you know what I mean? And the fans have more access to you. They cuss you, they call you out, and everything. And I can understand, because when Onana came in, everybody was loving him. Then all of a sudden, they said, "Bring back De Gea. What is this guy?" And I can imagine the sort of stuff he was getting on especially on Twitter, because that is a vile place to be. So you can imagine all the stuff that would have been coming through at him, and him having to deal with all of that aspect of it. And I'm saying, having that mental fortitude. Do you think Onana's got that mental fortitude to get through this, or do you think maybe at the end of the day, Ten Hag might say, you know what, bro, this man, there's too much pressure on him. I mean,
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Ooh. Sorry about that.
Oh yeah, Craig, condolences.
Is that Craig?
Yeah,
that's Craig, isn't it? Yeah, it's Craig. Yeah.
Oh, shit, Craig, man. Sorry to hear that, bro.
Yeah. Condolences to you and the family.
I know it's not an easy time, but hope that our prayers are with you and family. And we continue to pray for you, mate. You know what I mean? And again, really sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that, bro. Yeah. Yes. I know it's tough.
While we're on that subject, our condolences go out to those Swedish fans as well, man.
Yeah.
Watch a football match, Norman.
Yeah, you've gone
and you don't come home.
A game, and now the situation is, there's two grieving families. And you go to a game to watch a football match, not to come on, and hear the atrocity that's going on. And obviously, there's a lot of uncertainty in the world today, as we know what's going on across the world. And so this kind of feeds into it.
Sport normally tries to bring people together, man. You know,
exactly,
exactly.
And that's across the board, not just football. In most sporting arenas, it's about bringing people together and competing in a fun atmosphere, and everyone going home and experiencing what they've experienced. So when this happens, and whether it be rioting or anything, I remember there was a point where they used to say to the fans not to go to Turkey back in the day with the stabbings. Like the whole stabbing thing was really wild out there for the football. So it distorts it so badly. You know, you're there for fun and enjoyment, and someone might die, might get stabbed to death for no reason, just for being at a football game. That's not a reason to die. And it's very, very hard to look at that in any kind of positive light. Junior, big up yourself, guys.
No, football just, I mean, that situation, football just takes a back seat, you know? When it comes to things like that. And it's, absolutely right. Condolences. I didn't even mention, I don't even remember if I remember saying condolences out. I know it's late now, but to even Alex Ferguson's family.
Cassie, man, rest in peace, Cassie,
I mean, RIP, I don't know if at the time, I can't remember. I might have mentioned it, I can't remember, but I'll say it again. It's not easy, But just coming back to this whole thing, in terms of when you look at David Beckham and what he went through, guys. I mean, in 1998, you know, he makes that mistake of getting sent off. Comes on, he's getting abused from opposite fans. He's getting spat at, burning effigies, you name it. The Manchester United coach being pelted with bricks and whatever, all because of that. And that was in 1998. Now,
but then no,
if he'd done that now, would it be even worse?
10 times worse.
It'd be 10 times.
And if you watch the documentary, guys, after watching that, if he had killed himself, I actually wouldn't have blamed him. I'm not saying, go take your life, but if he had just said, nah, you know what, I can't do this anymore.
You'd understand why.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people actually forgot how global this guy had become. Like it's Beckham. And you imagine you're just with your missus, someone just comes to you and spits in your face, and you can't even retaliate, because then you could get your head bashed in, because you don't know how many people that person's with. And so I'm thinking, right, man, come to me and spit in my face while I'm with Sheen. Man, like, listen, man, Sheen, run. I'm going to stay and fight, run. You know what I'm saying? That's just me, right? You're doing that to me, and I'm just going to wipe it up and walk away. What? And that's the sort of stuff that he did. And I said, nah, bro. Because I think that's one of the ultimate parts of disrespect. Spit in the next man's
face. That's like, what? I mean, you know, even when he was on the pitch, he said he would look up into the crowd, he'll see his missus there, and that was the thing that kind of spurred him on to get through there. Because what I'm trying to say, that was in 1998, and you look at players today, would they have the same kind of mental? Because when you look at what he's achieved now, you have to have this there, because look, 1990, he still went on one stuff.
Yeah, but it's still the same now. When these boys are missing penalties for England, they're coming back and getting abused. Do you know what I mean? It's still, you know, as soon as you see them miss, you know what's going to happen within the next few minutes. It's just going to start, and then everyone's going to say how wrong it is, and then no one's going to do anything about it, as usual.
What was I say, Chili? Do you think that these guys, because what I titled it, mental fortitude then and now, I'm making the comparison is that those players of that era, that's another generation, that golden generation, have they got a stronger mentality? Because you look at David Beckham.
Because I just think that our generation from before is strong, has got more mental stability than this generation now, or more mental toughness. Do you know what I mean?
If you look at it, Norm, everything is more sensitive as well. Like the certain things growing up, right, that would be said to us, right? And you're just like, you know what? I could react, but I'm not. This generation is reacting. They are, especially in the workplace.
You take the Sancho situation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And again, is it his mental state, or is it who's behind him pushing it, or whatever? Do you know what I'm going to say? Because as I say, David Beckham has gone on to be successful. He owns his own club. Do you know what I mean?
You know what
He's
I'm
in
saying?
the owner's box, mate.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
And
you take it up to it, but then there's other players that are not so fortunate and don't make it. You know, you've got players that have ended up taking their own life, you know, and we don't wish that on anybody.
yeah,
No,
because
and right, I think the players of that era were more mentally strong. You look at Tony Adams for Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? He went through his stuff, you know, drinking, went to prison, come out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's still here. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but that's just playing for Arsenal though, because we're Merson in a similar sort of thing.
Yeah.
It really brings it just because for me, right? I think the level of bullying within sports as well.
Yeah,
and you know what I mean, like people can be in their mom's basement on their laptop just giving it.
Yeah,
and giving it for days, and no one knocks on their door. Because there was a thing where, and I don't know if it was a joke, it was like I saw a thing on social media where with keyboard warriors were getting visited by professional sports people who were slagging off. I don't know. I think it was for Sky Sports. It's like an advert they did where they knocked the front door and said, in your text message, you said you'd knock him out in 2 punches when he's here now. On your front doorstep. That just made me chuckle because basically he was just saying this online bullying's got to stop.
Yeah.
It's just too much. It's like, come on, man.
I mean,
things happen within sports that you don't always. Because if you look at even with the Beckham situation, when they interviewed Diego Simeone, he said that was never a red card. He said it was the softest red card in the world. That's what Diego Simeone said, and he said he actually couldn't believe it when he saw the red card. He went, "Wow, I didn't think he'd send him off for that because that was soft." But then he knew the repercussions of once he went, he knew that this guy could be finished in football.
Yeah,
instead of a World Cup against, of all people, Argentina, because of the whole Fortnance thing and everything else that had gone on. So it was just like, that was just the wrong team to get sent off. And then people quite conveniently forget that England didn't actually lose that game. They lost that game on penalties. If they lost it in regular time, it'd be like, okay. And then, what's his name? Glenn Hoddle, who was his that was what the Beckham's idols. Glenn Hoddle was England manager then, and he threw him under the bus. You know, he got asked a question. It reminded me of what Ten Hag did with Sancho. Sancho wasn't even at that game playing. Got asked a question, and just decided, he's not training well. That's why I didn't pick him. And my guy was like, you know what, the Beckham thing that really hurt us. How about you score some penalties and get through to the next round? Because then you got a brand new 11 that obviously doesn't include Beckham, and you go to the next round of the tournament. But because it's like they just wanted to pass the book. And then he knew once he said that, he must have known that he set up Beckham to get terrorized and his family to get terrorized. I mean, they were getting bullets posted through their door.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Yeah. You're going too far. Yeah. To his parents as well. His mum and dad. Yeah. Was receiving bullets and envelopes.
He said in if I was reading something, I was reading up on a little of it. Yeah. He was just saying he was like dying inside. Do you know what I mean? And you know the other thing as well, because I was watching the Overlap, and he was on that show with.
That's good. No, Matt, it's all right now. That's good.
Absolutely, I've subscribed to the show.
I have. Yes, all right.
Yeah. You got Roy Keane on there, Ian Wright, Gary Neville. What's her name? The Man City in England. I can't remember her name now. It will come back to me if anybody can remember. And the guy that spat in someone's face, that is Jamie Carragher.
Right.
Now, he was saying, David Beckham was saying that basically where he felt safe was when he was on that pitch. And he had his teammates absolutely backed him.
Keane and them boys, they had his back.
Even like when they were playing against opposition teams, they showed a clip where in one game, that same game, where the players, the way they were tackling him, mate.
Just going straight through him, no.
Like a vendetta. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're trying to break his leg, weren't they? They're trying to break his leg.
And I saw Roy Keane grab one up, grabbed them up and say,
Roy was on it, man.
Bro. Roy Keane, you know what I mean? And they proper backed him, do you know what I mean? And I suppose that's what helped him. So they were, when it came to that, and I don't know, I don't get that sense of, there might be one or two teams that really, when they're back against the wall, kind of. I think Chelsea and that was more to do with the mindset of Jose Mourinho, because it was almost like everybody was against Chelsea. So it was almost like he said, you know what? You know what I mean? It's the world against us. Do you know what I mean?
That has to galvanize them, innit?
Yeah, you're right. That's what galvanized them. And that's what made them really successful, because literally that time of abuse and you're using oil money and you're buying the league and then the fans getting cussed and the whole it was like a siege mentality for that club. But they all banded together and say, right, we're going to show these people. Do you know what I mean? Regardless, and they've come out successful. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But as I say, there are players that haven't been so successful. They've ended up really being Ronaldinho, fantastic player, but girls, he ended up in prison for
crashing and burning, man. Yeah,
the pressure of it. Do you know what I'm saying? I say, and it's how I look at Jude Bellingham, and I think to that guy, I think it was Paul Merson was talking about him and just saying how this guy is a 8, 9 out of 10 in pretty much every week. Let me just bring on Ez as well. Bring up to Ez. Let me just bring him in now. Yes, Mr. Ez, be saying.
Yes, my general.
Yes, hold on 1 second. I cannot hear you, so I'm going to fix that. Carry on. I'll be there in a second.
Cool. Yeah. So, so just this situation. I've just lost my trail of thought now. What was I talking about, D? Just quickly.
Jude Bellingham having like 9 out of 10 performances most games.
And Mercy was just saying that he's just got this mentality, when he gets on that pitch, and there's a swagger about him. And they're saying that Paul Merson was basically saying that this England squad should go on and win. They should be going on and winning a major.
They say that about every England squad.
I absolutely. So the thing is, what is it? These guys are
it's the manager, no?
Talented players. The manager, but also is it this as well, D?
Yeah, but Norman, if you stick a Pep Guardiola for one tournament with that team and you give him 2 months to work with them before the tournament, England will get to a final with Pep Guardiola. Just mentally,
right,
because
but I'm saying England have been to a final under Southgate.
But they've been to a final. But
that's why Southgate can do what he does, because he's got it in the bank, mate. You know what I mean?
He's got that credit in the bank. But mentally, you have to remember this is a guy that missed a valuable penalty for England in a very big game. So has he even buried them demons to be coaching this team? Because the thing is, it's like as much as you can encourage somebody, if you still got your failures on your back, because I'm telling you now, people will remind him of that penalty whenever if he gets loose lip with the one player. They say, "What do you know, man? You missed a penalty that could have taken us to." You know what I'm saying? It's very easy to throw back. And then if you see a player get benched, and you say, "Why has he benched him?" He probably told him about the penalty miss. Even though we won't hear that, but they're the kind of things that would go on. Because if you look at what Roy Keane said, Roy Keane said something about Man United. He said literally every training session, players came to blow. It's just what happened when you're playing for a big team. And at the end of the day, you go and have a bite to eat, have a few beers, go home, and next day you're back at training, laughing and joking. And I was like,
what he means is he came to blows with everybody.
Yeah. What Roy was like? It was no nonsense.
Yeah.
And so you would see that. You would see that. And even now in society, that's the difference where our society would have a fist fight, these men are stabbing you to death.
Yeah.
That's total extremes. Fist fight, buff up lip or bloody nose. And he's like, boy, man, I lost that one. Next day you see a man, you just give him the heads and over, speak to him. 2-2s. 2 weeks later, you're playing in the same team at football or whatever.
Yeah.
But now, man's going to walk with a knife to kill you rather than
that's crazy. I mean, that's crazy.
And have a fight.
Yeah, no, I mean that's crazy, and I know
because they can't fight.
Out of the lot of us, Ez is probably the one that's probably played football more recently, and sort of say,
Ez, you're on mute as well, bro.
I just still on mute.
Yeah, I'm there.
And I suppose when you're talking about going and playing against teams, and even as a player going, Ez, I mean you've played to a high level, and so. How do you, when you're going in and playing for a particular club, And I know Craig said like his partner's is mixed race, and his daughter was called a monkey. Yeah, it's just not. It's just, in the 2023, this ain't on. Yeah, this ain't on. So it's sort of your sort of kind of experiences going and playing the clubs that you played for, and what was your experience, and how did you deal with it mentally?
Do you know what? I was blessed to have a good coach in Luther Blissett. We used to wind them up and call him Luther Missett.
Luther,
Luther, he messaged me on Sunday, actually. It's kind of nice to have that connection still. But yeah, man. But Luther as a black man used to get in our heads, and he used to say, listen, on a football pitch, man, you have the last laugh if you go out there and you score a couple goals and you silence that crowd. And I guess you kind of go back to that Ian Wright in era. That's what Ian used to do big time. They used to be throwing all kind of stuff. And for us guys, at least we had them guys that had been there, done that. Whereas I couldn't imagine the guys back in the day that had to face that. You know what I mean? I think the difference is now social media, guys. I think that's the difference now.
Yeah.
Now there could be someone behind the keyboard with no picture even there to even identify. His name is, Apple Cart 123 or something, no real name, and he's there ready to tell you about what you look like and whatever. That's probably what is more difficult now, because you come home, you think about Saka after you missed that penalty. You know what I mean? It's hard to take that in, and you can't avoid it either because we're such a social media era. Like, these youngsters are not coming up there. They're not, you know what I mean? So yeah, it is tough, but the good coaches are out there, and the good coaches are reminding players of the message of, you know what, in this game you can actually fight back by going out there and you get the last laugh by winning. It shouldn't have to be that, but it's a different level of satisfaction. One quick story before we move on. I was playing striker one time, and this centre back, honestly, he was tugging my shirt and whispering, "Yeah, you're black, you black," and he will never finish it. He'll just say, "Yeah, you black," and he will never actually get there because you can't make a claim on that. He knew he could do just enough. And
yes, Alvin.
Yes, sir. The referee caught him.
Big up, Alvin.
The referee, you got to listen to that. Yeah, and the referee caught him, and the referee dealt with him differently. And I'm glad that he did in that scenario. But that's what even players are doing out there now. Players, and that's at academy level. That's these men are talking about going pro soon. Don't know where that guy is now, but I'm sure he got suspended. So yeah, there's not enough being done, but those are just a few examples of what's going on, and it's hard to deal with, man.
But it's exactly like what you said, Ez, because where do you feel safest? At home. If you're at home in your surroundings, you feel you can say what you want.
Yep.
And that's what they do.
They do that. The keyboard warriors, man. I think social media platforms need to do more. Don't get me wrong, it will put a lot of people off, but if they made people put their passports into their accounts to actually tie you to
imagine that.
Hey, look, I tell you what though, many people wouldn't be on social media because they don't want to put their details on it.
Exactly.
But I tell you what, I'd rather people be deterred to not have an account at all than having people that can get banned on one account and make another one in 5 minutes with a new email address.
Because like you say, at least you know that those people that are on there, they're not going to be coming with any nonsense.
Exactly.
If they do, you can find them and get rid of them.
Can you imagine it? Oh my gosh!
And you know what, though, as well, guys. There was something that kind of made me chuckle when I'm watching the documentary, because like whenever you see the players now, these guys have either got the big headphones on like these, or they got in-ears in. They're on their phones, right? And this is like, so they go. You see the change room on a Monday morning, and they're all reading the newspaper. And it was funny to see it because those days are so gone. Right? But yeah, it was like, listen, the usual, just the Mail, the Star, the Sun, whatever. And they're all there with the newspapers and passing newspapers around. Look, it's what he said about you. And so they would always look out for certain guys that wrote nasty stuff about them. And then, if they tried to do an interview, they'd be like, no, speak to him. You know what I mean? That's all what he wrote in the Star about me. So it's so different that the phone thing is what it is now. The smartphone is key. But then on the way to their training sessions, they stopped at a news agent and bought a newspaper or bought a few newspapers for the boys, and that was really kind of funny to watch. They're all there, like, you know, Monday morning in training, like all just reading the newspaper and pointing out stuff to each other, saying, "I don't know what Louis said about you." You know what I mean? And now that golf is miles apart now. Even though you can get most newspapers online, these guys are not looking at newspapers; they're looking at the social media, big platforms. You know what I mean? Big platforms.
I'll go as far as this. I know there's a footballer out there that has made a fake account himself just to keep an eye on what's being said, because he doesn't want to risk being on his account and reply and be reactionary. Right. Yeah. So he's got and sometimes he does reply, but in the fake account. So these people that are doing whatever, they don't know it's him. But he replies, and it's like, don't you guys think that footballers have feelings? You know, don't you feel like they are honestly trying their hardest out there to do the best for them? And he tries to be reactionary on that account. But could you imagine? It shows how much other footballers. I can't imagine how many of the Rashfords, the other whoever's up to Ivan Tonys and whatever that are actually out there that are soaking all of this up. You know what I mean? Worry more for the younger ones. You know what I mean? I don't know if you remember the documentary norms, but Saka saying he can't even go Waitrose or Tesco without being noticed, even though he's got his mask on and people notice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But so, you know what? You see, like a club like Newcastle, like the guy that used to captain my basketball team when I played National League, his son is Jamal Lascelles.
Oh wow!
Right. So when Jamal was captain and playing regular,
Newcastle,
he was saying to us like a goldfish bowl. You can't like a lot of times they wouldn't even go to restaurants in Newcastle to eat because you couldn't. Like, it's like you lived in the goldfish bowl and the fans behaved like they literally owned you. Like, you got to stop eating. I want a selfie, or I need to say hello. Can I shake your hand? Like your missus, they're your kids, and it's like rah, and that's too much.
Yeah,
like you're never off duty. Though. You're never off duty.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if you refuse them, because they're so this generation, they're so demanding. You know what I'm saying? You refuse them, they're calling everything under the sun. So hold on a minute. One minute ago, you wanted me and you to you know what I mean, come together and do what we need to do, and then all of a sudden, I mean, come on, man. It doesn't
That's
work,
the price of fame now, though. Well, I suppose it's always been there. I remember Ryan Giggs was at the toilet at the urinal, and someone's asking to shake his hand. You know what I mean? At the urinal.
I didn't put up well, go watch your hand first, man. You know, I mean, that's probably as intrusive as if you could be when you stand over a man and say, "Yeah, mate, can I get a handshake once you finish shaking that?" I mean, seriously, why that?
But it's like what Ronaldo said, that he's only taken his son to the park like once or twice.
Yeah, imagine.
That's crazy.
And those things should be normal, shouldn't they?
So exactly. We see all the money and the football and the big house and the nice cars, but the man can't take his child over the park for a kickabout.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Although his back garden's probably big enough to have a kickabout. So.
Yeah.
But no, you know what I'm saying though. Like you can't say, "Oh, do you want to go and get a milkshake? Do you want to do this?" You can't do nothing. Maybe go cinema.
But if you look at what society is now, like I remember me and my older brother, when we were just barely teenagers, we literally summer holidays, backpack full of food and drinks, fruit. We'd literally ride to the other side of the city to my cousins to go play football all day. Yeah. Right? And my parents weren't even stressed out. They call my uncle and say, "Did Dee and Dave come there?" Yeah. They're gone over the park now. And then I drive back. We have to get back before the street lights get on. You know what I mean? Otherwise, mum start bugging out. But we was gone. You imagine you sending your 9-year-old kid out now to drive to cycle 13 miles across town to their cousins. It ain't happening. No. It ain't happening. No. You're not doing that now, and that is how much society has changed. Yeah, we could do that on our little. My dad bought these racers that we had to build. They came all boxed. And we had to build up, put the gears on and build them up. They were proper, like 18-speed racers. Got them for the summer holiday, built them, and we was all over the city, linking with cousins and mates and all that, all through the summer. But now you're like, I can't come with you. I'll take you to the park to ride your bike. You can't be sending your kids out to do that. Now they'll never come home. No. Somebody will say, these kids come here on their own all the time. I don't see no adults. Anything can happen. You get nabbed. Just like that.
We'll say no more about that. But just because we could talk about this all night. But just the fortitude then and now. If the players, if you look at the players at the beginning of the Premier League up until say about 2005, 6, 7, 8, when just before social media really started
to
kick in. Would you say those players, all right, compared to the players now, if those players were used to transport them now, do you think they would be able to deal with the social media demand on them in terms of, the stuff that you're hearing now? Do you think they would have had a better mentality compared to players now?
Yeah, they probably would not. Because I think, if you go through both, and then you get put in that scenario, like now, if you look at it now, them top players, you're not getting anywhere near them, no, spit in their face. These guys come bodyguarded up if they got this sense. They're not walking the regular street on their own. And so not just them, sports stars in general, superstars. Very rarely you'll see a superstar on their own in a supermarket shopping. Not now.
I think the players now.
Have you seen that video of Haaland walking around Manchester on his jacks?
I've seen that. Yeah, I saw Haaland do that. But you know what? He just won the treble, so he's good at it.
He can do that. But Balotelli used to do it, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, would you roll on Balotelli as big as you are? You'd be like, yeah, maybe not.
but the thing is, I think, as I said, the players now, I think they're overprotected, and I think that's the problem. They're so overprotected. Any little thing. So if something is said on social media, you know what I mean? It's just like they're like in a bubble, aren't they? Whereas the players yesteryear, they weren't so much in a bubble. Do you know what I mean? They were called more.
Well, you got to think about it now. I don't know if you hear the language. Sorry, Norbs. Yeah. But now they normally talk about the players' entourage. For example, with Sancho, and you will hear that they've contacted Sancho's entourage. So that kind of alludes to a group of people with different roles and responsibilities, whether it be mum, dad, agent, player liaison. In between the player liaison, you've got the club representative for that. You know what I mean? So you've got all these people that are now dealing with the one individual. Compared to before, you might have an agent and your parents. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
On your own.
Yeah, because if you look at it back then, Norman, that managers used to go knock on the front door and talk to your parents about if you want to play for us.
Exactly.
And let you come and have a cup of tea in your front room. And persuade your parents to let you come and play. And that's how with the basketball. That coach came. No, my parents.
I know someone that's contacted Rashford about the whole feeding the kid thing. Man talking about contact my PA first. Jesus.
Right.
What?
Exactly.
Do you see where this is going now, guys? This is nuts now.
And the thing about it, and I don't know what it is. I mean, I think players now, because social media really is a big influence on a lot of these players. So it's almost like a lot of their time is spent more on their profile, how they look, and everything, rather than. That's why the players were back then, man. They were quality players. You could find 5 or 6 world-class players. And like I said, if I said to you, D, name me 6 world-class strikers back then to now. It's very hard. I mean, now I'll say Ireland. I'm starting to scratch my head and go, Lewandowski. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of, but it's very difficult.
But it's the same in your team, though, no?
Say that again, mate?
It's the same in our teams. If we look at our teams and say, who are world-class players, there's only been 2 or 3, if that. And even then, you're going to be like, you know what, he's good, but is he world-class?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because now, it's just like, it's just weird. Because back then,
look at
you always spoke about world-class players.
Look at your Chelsea team under Jose Mourinho,
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
Start naming the world-class players. Start naming them, bro.
Yeah, Drogba, Ballack, Essien, Terry, Carvalho, Ivanovic, Mata, Hazard.
Exactly, bro.
You know what I mean?
Ridiculous.
Oscar. You know what I mean?
Can I go to?
I didn't even set Frank Lampard yet. You know what I mean?
Hold up. You know what I mean?
So, yeah,
It's like your team.
Yeah.
Back in the day when you know your team, when we was fighting against you, and you know, we could say, I could just say Bergkamp, Henry, Perez.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm
struggling. What I would say, my team now, I'll just say there's potential. Whether they have mentality, whether they have the mentality to go that next level. Yeah, that is the thing. That is the question. Sancho, it could have been world class, but
is that if you look at it, Sancho's supposed to be world class.
You know what?
If you really deep it,
supposed to be, but
right. If you look so
outside forces, are affecting the way
entourage. It needs to be stopped.
Yeah.
We've got like 9 world-class players.
I'm just
listen, Chile says quiet, you know. Chile, you're doing so well.
He's doing so well. I'm gonna take a mint. You know when they say have a mint? Right now, I'm physically sick.
To be fair though, you do have Son, and Son is underrated. I think he's up there. D, in respect to you, I think Bruno Fernandes is underrated as well. If you look at his numbers, he's given 30.
Man United fans hate on him, though, man. They
don't like if you look at
There's a problem.
No, this is where I struggle with Bruno. Is that Bruno can ghost 80% of a game.
Yeah.
And then in that 20% get a goal and assist and gets man of the match. And I'm like, that's not world class for me. And I think
because the best players, they can be quiet. I know what you're saying, but the best players can be quiet for 90% of the game, but then that one thing changes the game.
But okay.
I know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly
you look at Roy Keane, right? When Roy Keane got that yellow card in the semi-finals, this man knew he was missing the finals, right? Man rolled up his sleeves and he dragged us over the line to the finals, knowing that he was not going to play. Does Bruno do that? No, he doesn't. He won't do it. If Bruno knew that a yellow card got him out of there, he's going to sulk and moan for the rest of the game.
But you're comparing him to one difference. You're comparing him to one of your greats.
I know.
Great players.
But I think that's where I've been brought back.
You got to compare it to McSaucy or someone.
you know what it is, though. You know what it is. This point that you know, if you look at Bruno's numbers now, if you go back to the 90s, the Prem, nobody really looked at numbers, did they? All they looked at
GA.
Eye test. It was the eye test. It's like, bro, what this guy's doing? Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like goals, assists, and pre-assists, and this assists, and whatever. You know what I mean? How many? They've got so many different stats out there. It's unreal.
Well, they've changed it now, isn't it? It's not just goals; it's goal assists. So,
Well, I guess I understand that.
Or the other one, expected goals.
If we're going by that, Chelsea's top of the league. Joking,
right?
Exactly. You know what I mean? You get that.
But like if I look at that young striker, Haaland, he has the potential to be world class, and this is my fear, is that he comes here and learns how to play, and then bam, he's gone to Madrid and he kills it.
Well,
and that could be a huge possibility because he's only 19, 20.
No, you're not safe. I'll tell you why you're not safe, because even Haaland will leave Man City to go to the likes of Real Madrid.
Man United.
Exactly. Yeah, Man United. And so I look at that and say, even our potential world class players, we may not be able to keep hold of long term, especially if we fall away and just keep finishing in 8th or 9th place or whatever, because the structure is still wrong.
That moves us on to the next subject matter, which is Man U sold a dream, but your worst nightmare is about to unfold. I heard loads of man. Listen, listen. Let's use the classic example of Ez. We cussed Ez. We cussed out Ez. We said that's it. His club is done. Yeah. Man was on the brink. The man was on the brink of getting out of business. Yeah,
he played it off well though, because he tried going like he was relaxed. I know you weren't relaxed.
I don't know what you're talking about, Chili. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Funny.
Then a couple of days later, the next show I see Ayers just come with his dark glasses, you know. Man said, "Yo," man just come with a big briefcase, plugged it down, and say, "Yo, we're ready to run. We're ready to run." Yeah, that's what he kept doing on the show. Next.
Yeah.
D. Man United.
Man.
Qatar. Yeah?
Man.
The only Qatar you got. Hey, the only Qatar you got right now is up your nose.
You know the ones, literally.
Man, it's blocked up right now.
Glaziers, man.
You know what's the weird thing about that whole thing, right? Is that if you really deep it back to last year, November, when they put the feelers out, as much as, and the fans didn't want to hear this, they never actually, their priority never actually was to sell the club. They were always looking for investors, i.e., someone to come. Because if you look at it, this guy is paying if it goes through, if the board approve it, he's going to pay 1.4 billion to be the next, what's the word? He's taking all the bullets, mate. So the Glazers will say, "Oh, we're going to drift over to the commercial side of the club, and we're going to give him the sporting side of the club." And the commercial side is always nice. It's always been nice. It's why I say that we are a business. Man United are a business before they're a football club. I've said this for a while now. And if he doesn't change the fortunes on the football side, the fans will be Ratcliffe out. Get that rat out of my club. Trust me, mark my words. This is what we're going to be hearing. And there'll be no talk about the Glazers, even though they'll be the majority shareholders, because they'll say, "No, we're not doing the football side of the business.
Yeah.
We're doing the commercial and sponsorship side of the business."
They're smart, D.
These brothers, they're wicked normal.
They're like leeches, though. They ain't going away, bro.
And the thing is, right, and there's no guarantee that in 4 years' time, they're going to sell him all their shares so he becomes majority shareholder. I actually think if this works where they take his money and don't go anywhere, and then they say, right, after the next 2 quarters, we're going to start pulling dividends again. Because Man United will make money, regardless of what happens within Europe. They will make money. They always have done. The fan base is huge. But I just think, bro, you're aiding and abetting. So no one now trusts this guy no more. So, bro, I thought you were trying to buy the club. Now you're just humble to get a foot in the door at 25%. And you have to remember the club is worth $3.5 billion on the New York Stock Exchange. And you're paying 1.4 for a quarter of it. Get out.
And he's a Chelsea fan.
Yeah, he's getting mugged off. But it's all the rumours that he's going to bring in his people, and which is interesting because you're Richard Arnold's and all these guys. What you thinking? This could be an end of me. So maybe they've already started skimming before they still go through. I'm allegedly. There you go. I'm trying to get government cancelled.
He asked a question. He even asked a question when I think the first time round. He was asking a question about why did you go and buy Casemiro? That was a question he was asked the club. What was the point of buying Casemiro? That was a question.
To Richard Arnold?
Yeah, not Richard Arnold, Ratcliffe.
Ratcliffe, right.
Yeah. I just wanted to just say, if it is ratified, and this is what happens, if it's ratified. If Sir Jim Ratcliffe, he will take immediate control of football operations at Man United should his 25% investment be ratified by the club's board. Ineos will explore how to expand and rebuild Old Trafford into a 90,000-seater stadium if Sir Jim Ratcliffe is successful with this offer to buy a stake in Man United. Now, I need to know about the maths in this, right? Because
the maths is it?
Right. So the future of it's got a future of the number. I think you mentioned it. The Richard Arnold and John Murtough.
Yeah.
It's going to be very much up in the air.
Yeah. He's not keeping them both long.
To take control of the football operations.
Yeah.
When then purchase of the minority stake is completed. And then it's got a Sir Jim Ratcliffe purchase of a minority 25% stake in Man United still has a way to go before being concluded, with lengthy negotiations still expected before completion. And even more in the future should he wished to increase his stake. And obviously, Sheikh Yassin was planning to sign. These are the players. Some of the players: Kylian Mbappe,
Really?
Munich's Kingsley Coleman, and Real Madrid Eduardo Camavinga.
Kingsley Coleman, yeah.
If that was the case, and then lastly on this article, it says Andre Onana could be offered a route away from Old Trafford after a woeful start to his campaign. And I know Chidi had to dash off because
he just sent his message there. Yeah.
Right.
But I know this is my thing, right? If you look what the Sheikh said he wanted to do, as fans, well, I'm gonna say as fans in general, most fans were taking that because to create more jobs within the Manchester area next to the club by putting a whole new whatever mall and literally job creation as well as either rebuilding or remodeling Old Trafford. They talked about putting a roof on it, all this kind of stuff, right? So it probably would have meant that we'd have had to go maybe a year and a half, 2 years and share City's ground, which is what it is, you know what I mean? And until that is done. There was so much upside. Now, for whatever reason, you know what? It's like me knocking your door on and say, yeah, I want your house. And you say, well, I ain't really selling it. But yeah, okay, I want your house. And he said, and I say, the roof needs doing. Yeah, your kitchen, your bathroom need remodeling. But you know what? I'm going to pay you double what it's worth, and I'm going to clear both yours and Jay's credit card as well. You know what? And I'm going to buy you a new whip just to say thank you. And you say, nah, bro, we good. Told you everything you need to know about these American owners, the greed, because that's what the Sheikh did. I'm going to give you double the market value. I'm going to clear your debts, and I'm going to make the fans happy. And my man said, nah, we ain't selling to you.
So what's the reason?
Your offer.
What's the reason why? Why?
Because
why they turn them down?
They're trying to sell the club on future potential. So what they're saying is, in 2 years' time, this club will be worth 10 billion, and he thinks he can get away with offering us just above 6 and clearing our debt. So if he clears your debt, that way that gets you out the hole with the American banks, because apparently the banks have been squeezing them for their money. This is why the gym thing could work, because I think a lot of gyms' money will go on clearing the debt.
Can I? I've just found the package, D. Can I remind everyone what the package was? Yeah.
Go on then, bro.
The package was total investment close to 8 billion, with more than 6 billion was the final bid, but then also extra to clear all debt, which is what D just said, and it will leave the club without any debt, no debt. So that would help your FFP, everything. Yeah. Yep. Then you would have spent 1.5 billion in the stadium and key activities around United, which are talking about community projects, new stadium, new training, which Ronaldo was banging on about. It's old and
Yeah. A brand new Carrington, yeah.
And definitely a big spend due to no debt in 2024. Right. So you probably would have brought in 10 and got rid of 10. You know what I mean? Right. That's what it would have sounded like. Now,
but just on what you said there, the job creation, the stadium needs building. Yeah. So all these contractors around the northeast, even in the south, the public go up there. Everyone's like, this guy's rebuilding it. We've got work for 2 years now. When you look at the knock-on effect of him not buying it on the city of Manchester, it's wild. It's like, this dude was spreading the love. That way, every tradesman's going to get some work as long as he's registered and got all the certificates up to date.
And do you know
community jobs, stuff that they could have done with the University of Manchester. It just goes on, though. It goes on.
And I think even if you don't win anything in the first couple of years, I think the whole United fan base goes, do you know what? This guy's he's brought some credit because
he's coming to credit.
He's got the stadium on the go and the training facilities. Even that, players are going to want to come to United again.
Right?
Even on that merit.
No, he might have even turned around and said, "I don't fancy Ten Hag. He's upset way too many good players here." He might have come in and said that and said, "Sorry, Eric, you know what? I'm going to pay you off your contract. How much do we owe you? 20 mil?
Yeah.
There you go, my friend. have a great one. We're going a different direction. I think he's that kind of, I call it calm calculated, because he was never phased. He just said, right, this is where I want to go to. You're not going to pump me to buy this club. And I think, and that's why people said that Ratcliffe was a plant to force him to pay more money. But now, with Ratcliffe, him pulling out, they didn't expect that, they didn't. I think they went, right, I thought he wanted the club. He did, but if he's clearing your debt and cleaning all your mess up, and you're still trying to mug him off, at some point you're going to say, you know what, these Glazer mans ain't ready. I'm pulling back.
Do you think the Qatars could look at another club?
It wouldn't surprise me. But then he said he's a Man United fan, though.
Just to get back at Manu.
Yeah, but like he said he's a fan, and I believe him.
Yeah.
Until he goes about somewhere else, and then you don't believe it.
Fabrizio said many clubs in Europe has offered their clubs to him, but he's already said no. He's a Man United fan. You know what I mean? I think he would do what Bowley done. Bowley wanted Chelsea in 2016. He didn't get it, and then
wait his time.
How many years? 5 years later, the right opportunity came, albeit unprecedented, and he already done his research on what it would take to get the club. That's why he knocked everyone else out the park. So,
but did you see as well as though how much again the shares dipped on the stock exchange again? It's like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah,
and
it's really bad, bro.
You have to wonder about the Rain Group, right?
Yeah.
Now, someone's telling me that the Rain Group is in bed with Ed Woodward. That's what I'm hearing as well.
That wouldn't surprise me.
And I said, man, Ed's still around, no.
He's still around.
We can't shake Ed. So if you think about it, no one's getting any commission. If you really think about it, if the Rain Group were looking, I think the Rain Group was saying, we have to go with the Sheikh because that just works for the Rain Group. So you've had the Rain Group waste a whole year just to go with 25% Ratcliffe. Now, trust me, the Rain Group are not happy with the Glazer family. And I think that the Glazers may think that we pushed him too far. Now, do you go back with your tail between your legs and say, yo, Mr. Sheikh Jassim, we was joking, brethren. The 6 is good, bro. Clear the debt. Yeah, we'll take the 6, brother. That might happen. Don't be surprised if that happens, but I doubt it. I think he's walked away to wait, like Ed said, a couple more years. You might see him knock the door again and say, okay, now do you want to sell it? And the price is still the same price as it was 2 years ago. You ain't getting your 10 billion.
No, he's not getting that. There's not
ridiculous. The greed is unbelievable. And it'd be interesting what the siblings who really wanted the money feel, the other 3 siblings, because they wanted the money. So they were all like, go with the Sheikh. We all getting close to $1 billion each. By the time you put it in the account and leave it for 2 or 3 months, there's your $1 billion. Come on, man. You got to look at that and shake your head.
What happens now? Because
wow,
I gave you a list there of the fact that what he wants to do in terms of the club and
it's a dream.
Does he have the money to do that? Because he's talking about leveraging debt onto Ineos, but it's still going to be our debt.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
It's still going to be our debt, bro. All you're doing is becoming a British Glazer.
Yeah.
In my opinion. It's like, because they've never spoke about clearing the debt. Not one time has Jim spoke about clearing the debt. Not one time.
Yes, well, it's Jassim has. Yeah, he has.
And so, I don't know, you just think they bought the debt-free club. And you know what? I have to thank Alex for this. This is Alex Ferguson's fault. Because he mixed personal with business. That Horsey situation should never have been caught up in the Man United Football Club. Hence why the McManus family said, you know what, we're not working with him.
Yeah.
And here comes Ed Woodward saying, listen, guys, I got a solution to your problem. I got some guys that really like Man United. Do they? Yeah, so you don't have to work with him anymore. You can take your money and not have to work with Alex Ferguson. Bam. Deal done. Rest is history and all. And you know, a lot of fans say, oh, they don't spend money. They spend money, but a lot of that money is spent on debt, as we're seeing now. So it's okay you spending 200 million every summer, but it's not real money, no. It's just completely loading the club. What, $1 billion plus in debt now? Yeah, Cameron's right. Jimmy's not clearing that debt. Because it's not his debt to clear, it's their debt. Because what he will say, I'm going to buy you out. When I buy you out, you got to take that money and clear your debt. Because you have to remember, the debt won't be in Sir Jim's name. It will be in the Glazers' US business name. You know what I mean? And I just think, and I think now because of them, the government has stopped anybody buying British assets like that, where they leverage their own personal debt onto what they're buying. I think the government has stopped that after this modelling. A little bit too late for us. But I don't know, Norm. I don't see where we go with Sir Jim. I honestly don't.
That's what I'm saying, because in terms of because in order for listen, Man United got money, but it's strange that I would say that, you know, Man United ain't got money to go and purchase players, or they've got to do
loan deals and
loan deals. I don't
free
get
transfers.
Yeah, and all of this, I don't get it. Because, as I said, with this plan that Jassim had, he would have been to clear the debt. He would have set aside X amount of money for the development of the ground, the training ground, and also money going into purchasing players. Yeah,
and it wouldn't surprise me if he'd already done a deal, as in speaking to Manchester City about the potential ground sharing thing, because obviously that stadium and pitch would be unusable for that period while they are renovating. Because like they're talking about, we're going to increase it to a 90-seater stadium. With whose money? Because I guarantee you that half of that 1.4 billion is going to be used to do something with the Glazer debt, or service some things that they're telling us about. And then, so there's not much left. I mean, there's not much left to do what they're talking about. Because the Glazers, I get it, you know what? People say they shouldn't be spending their own money. Okay. Because they're in it for the business. And I get that. And if I was the owner of Man United, every other quarter, I am going to take a dividend. It's my business. That's how I'm going to live. But when you see the lack of investment in the infrastructure,
that's the problem.
That's really my problem with it. It's like, okay, you're buying players on debt.
It's not even that. It's the visibility. It's the visibility. Yeah. Get that. Yeah. It's the visibility. Yeah.
I remember the last time. The last time we went, you were literally standing in pee to have a pee. That's how bad the toilets were. And I went, yo, this is mad.
Yeah.
And then it rained, so it was getting leaked on. And you said, man, no, this there's nothing prestige about it.
Yeah.
That's how much they've let it run down on. And so I look at it and say, no, if Sir Jim was serious, he would talk to remember, he's supposed to be the guy at the top of Ineos. You go into Ineos and say, well, we are buying Man United, not me. We are buying Man United. And it's going to become the Old Trafford Ineos Stadium. And we're going all in. We're buying them out. We're getting them a full sale. But here we are. It just feels like...
If the route in terms of what Ratcliffe wants to do in terms of eventually owning Man United outright, how long would it take to do this?
They're talking 4 or 5 years. That's 4 or 5 years of the Glazers still milking dividends every quarter. It's not sustainable. They could actually bankrupt the club, this way.
This is what I'm saying.
They could actually bankrupt
and
the club.
If things don't work out as it should on the field,
right?
The nonsense going off the field, yeah.
And so much is banked on that, Norm.
Exactly.
We have to qualify for Champions League now with a deal like this.
Exactly.
You have to qualify for Champions League just for the TV money, because the TV money balances it out a little bit.
Yeah, is it 50 million, something like that?
Yeah, but I don't know. We still got players on big wages, Norm.
Oh yeah, well, I know that. And
so you look at all this and you say, none of it's sustainable. It's just not. This model is not sustainable in the way they're trying to do business, and it wouldn't surprise me. I'm hearing that Fergie gets was it 2 million a year as a director? 2 mil.
Silent? Is he a silent director? Is he just there?
I don't know because I'm wondering if he's on the board now.
Right.
Because he travels with the team on away games. He's on the flight most of the time. Obviously now with Kathy passing and stuff.
Yeah.
But before that, he'd be on the plane with them for the European games and all that. Very rarely you see a home game at Old Trafford and he's not there.
Yeah.
Him. You know what I mean? So him and not Martin Edwards. Martin Edwards. The guy that was CFO, tall guy. I can't forget his name now. But them two sit together practically every home game. So one is a director, one is an ambassador. So both are the payroll norm. And like none of your clubs have your ex-manager on the payroll attending every home game, but we do at Man United. Come on, man, think about that. It's corrupt, man. It's jobs for the boys, norm.
When whoever goes down to sit down to do those books, yeah, man, they're just saying, "Yo, remember 2 million?" Yeah,
they have the best accountants in the world. Trust me, because they are cooking the books right now. You know they are.
Calvin says, based on the argument on long-term debt, worse still, after Man United and Everton with 7-7, Burnley could be in even a worse position because the Premier League didn't monitor that whole situation properly.
See, yeah, and you're going to see, Norm, now it's going to be very hard to sell clubs now. The scrutiny that will come down on every potential sale. So, like, say, like you're Liverpool. If you want to get rid of the American owners, you're going to find it's be very difficult to do it how it was done before. Someone could just swoop in. You have to remember, the government forced Chelsea to sell, as in Abramovich to sell Chelsea because of the alleged Russian links and all the rest of it. Right? Yeah. So you saw how quickly that went through. Look how long this has dragged out a whole year, and we're still talking about 25% gym. You know what I mean? And
still, that's not. There's no
not even concrete.
There's no concrete. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And so
it is a bit of a.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it, no, in football.
Yeah, it's a dilemma.
And if they cried bankruptcy 2 years' time, it wouldn't surprise me. They said the club's bankrupt. We just can't sustain our bills now. We can't pay the players. We can't. If that came out,
because the thing is, yeah, what I'm saying, D, because you know you got the likes of Casemiro, yeah, he's not getting any younger, and he's on an awful lot of money. You got Varane,
he's on around the 400k mark or thereabouts, isn't it?
Varane,
yeah, same thing, yeah.
So, I mean, obviously you got like the Maguires and that you're hoping maybe you can get some sort of kind of sell for them, but you still got the likes of Rashford, you know, Sancho. You know,
350, 375 a pop.
You're paying part of Greenwood's. Are you paying part of Greenwood's?
Yeah, apparently bought his yard and his whip out there and everything. Settled him in.
With all of this, D, as you rightly said, is it sustainable?
Nah, it's not a sustainable model. No, it's not.
So going forward, saying all of that, you go through this process, right? And you've got to, in order to move forward, you have to invest into the playing side of things, right? Yeah. At the moment, I don't know if they're going to take priority. You know, like sometimes, like, okay, when Arsenal, Wenger had to do this for a good amount of years. He had to protect the ball. Yeah, because
that's right.
Ended up getting rid
of. Best way you did your stadium as well. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So effectively, he couldn't buy. He had to sell his best players,
right,
in order to try and stay. I mean, he done well to stay in the top four for so long. Yeah, but it was only for so long. But then the players that the players that we was bringing in were bang average. Sonogo, eh? You're looking at it and you're thinking, my God. So my thing is, like, there comes a point where Man United's quality of players that they want to buy, are they going to be in this situation where they're going to think, you know what, actually, we haven't got them. We're either going to have to do some kind of loan deal,
right,
or just go for. I mean, if you go for £50 million player now, that's just average. Yeah,
you have to remember.
Kind of top player.
The big teams are paying around 50, 60 mil for left backs and right backs.
Right.
Not even centre backs or centre mids. So if you look at it, it's like 50 mil on a player. You're like, yeah, that's just potential. That's not someone that's going to come straight. Because if I were looking at it now, in the transfer market, our teams need to be buying players that come straight into starting lineup, and the guys that currently started become impact players off the bench. Where if there's no money, that ain't gonna happen, is it? Because you won't be able, because them players are not gonna come and say, "Oh, I'll take a pay cut to come to Man United." It ain't gonna happen.
Yeah,
so because 350 a week.
I think that would be all in. Like when they, if they were going to negotiate, they say, "Look, Joe, I don't know what the conversation will be, but it's less. This is what we can offer you. Yeah, we can't really be paying you the going rate. yeah, players are going to turn around and say, "Yo, as big a club as you are, yeah,
right, yeah." There comes a point where the name and brand will be no longer a pull.
Right,
and I think we're close to it now in certain.
The thing is, though, talking about Arsenal, where we went for that era where we really had bang average players in our side, and it was like, I don't know how. I mean, as Calvin said, you know, you got to take off the Wenger to keep us in that position and be competitive for so long. But what you're seeing with Man United now is a situation where you're falling away. All right, last season you won a Carabao Cup and you got third place, right?
Yeah, now, he got a nice new manager's bounce, I would say there.
Yeah. Right, now I think reality's now kicked in.
Right,
reality's kicked in now. So going forward for the next 3 or 4 years, if he's still there or what, because if you change manager, you're gonna have to pay compensation, and the Glazers don't like that. He's a yes man, so keep him. You know what I mean? But then it's that whole thing of now, you're not gonna be able to buy the players that you want to take you to the next level, right?
But now, no, if you think about it, if you think about it, I don't think he's got his first choice signing.
No,
since he's been there.
No, 100%. No.
If you think about it, he'd be going, okay, because if you think about it, everyone said we're getting Kane, we get Haaland. We're getting the Barcelona guy.
You were meant to get the guy from Barcelona.
Barcelona.
So what's his name? What's the guy's name? I can see him.
The ball carrying midfielder.
Yeah.
Right.
De
Jong. Last minute, Casemiro comes in. Casemiro was a club signing rather than Ten Hag signing, because it's like, okay, get Casemiro.
And it was and I believe it was a panic buy.
It was.
Say, oh, you know,
it wasn't on the radar. It wasn't on the radar.
You don't let something sit down for so long. Ten Hag wanted De Jong, and De Jong, obviously, for whatever reason, didn't want to leave Barcelona until he was either paid out that money. And, you know, so this swing went backwards and backwards.
Because you remember, no, we chased him all summer.
I know.
And bought Casemiro in the last week of the window, when you realise that he really ain't coming to us. And so I look at it and say, he was already been mugged off. This is before this goes down. So what are you going to rely on once it goes down? And that's why everyone's saying, surely you have to go Qatari if you're the owners, if you're the board, and you're hoping that the rest of the board will encourage them to sell.
Yeah.
And hopefully that they still keep their board seats, or someone will get their board seats. Don't really matter. If you're on $2 million a year, you're not hard up. So if you're not your board seat, you're like, I've had 6-7 years of $2 million a year. I'm straight. And so you look at that and say, yeah, man, it's not sustainable, Norm. That's all I can say is that if we cried bankruptcy 2 years down the line, it wouldn't surprise me. Because we're stuck with, remember, we can't sell players because of their wages.
Yep.
So you can't sell players because of their wages, then you're stuck with an overinflated squad on great money, not winning much, or
and
not,
it's like,
not
competing. Like the Glazers, it's just like the Glazers have said, you can protest all you want, because it just reinvigorates them even more. You know what I mean? And as a matter of fact, do you ever see them at games? How often do you?
Very rarely. And you have to remember as well, no, the Glazers are not concerned about the debt.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Because if push comes to the shove, and they have to get rid of something in America or sell some assets to clear it, then they'll do it. But because they're not being forced to clear the debt, for them, that's the least of their worries, is the debt.
Yeah.
It's more about the running of the day-to-day running, that they don't lose big commercial. Remember, they just did 900 million with Adidas, Norms. 900 million. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a 10-year deal. It's a 10-year deal. 10-year deal with Adidas, 900 million. So, man, you would need a manager like Big Ange with a philosophy that works with the players already there. Yeah. Well, what we're seeing there, Calvin, is right, because no one imagined he would come in and get you playing how you're playing right now very quickly. So that tells you a level of discipline, a level of the players getting onto his system and his work ethic very quickly. And maybe he's not upsetting players individually either. There's the way to do that. You know what I mean? You're not the gaffer's door. You close the door. You have it out. You remember when we watched the Amazon thing?
Yeah.
Amazon Prime thing with Mourinho and I forget Danny Rose and that. They went in his office.
Yeah.
That weren't done out in front of Sky Sports that was in his office. And say, right, I'm sick of you. This lot are not playing as good as me. You keep picking them. And I think this is Sancho's biggest gripe, that Anthony hasn't done more than Sancho, and Anthony still keeps getting picked. It's not really about training. It's about him feeling that he was promised something in the summer and come to start the season. And he should have known that. When he was playing him in the false line in pre-season, he should have known that Ten Hag was going to mug him off. That's why he wasn't smart. Because you're like, okay, he's playing him in the false line. He's a right winger. What are you playing him in the false line for? That means you don't really think there's a spot for him, even though you're telling him to stay because we need you. And now Anthony stinks up the joint 4 or 5 weeks on the trot. Sancho's still sat on the bench. He's like, well, what's going on here then? You know what I mean? So it's bigger than what we'd see. I know that's part of it.
I put it down. You know what I've put it down to? I'm not saying that it's just that, but one, I think the culture of the club.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the Glazers have a lot to answer for because of the way they are managing the club and running the club, should I say? And you hear some fans, some top Man United fans saying they're running this club into the ground. That's how it feels. You've said it. You said it on the show tonight. It feels like
it just
only going in one direction because you're thinking you look at what you did last season. Right, you got that manager bounce and that, and so you're hoping and praying, and that's the thing about it. It's that hope and praying that hopefully Man United will now push on. Yeah,
but this is what you have to watch now. If the board gives Jim the nod to buy this 25%, and then he takes over the footballing side of the business, how long do the Glazers wait before they start pulling dividends again? You know what I mean? Because that will be the proof into are these guys really trying to cripple the... Because if after, just say like, this goes through now, and in January, then man pull a nice 25, 30 million dividends, you know exactly what's going on here. And then them and Sir Jim will fall out, mark my word on it. Because they'll say, whoa, what's going on here? Why are you taking money out? No, we need to stabilize the club. They're like, well, no, it's a business. It's a business for us. So even if Sir Jim is coming with good intentions, I think they'd still mug him off as well. After him putting in way over, because 1.4 billion is too much for 25%. If the club is only worth 3.5, and probably lower now because of the dip from this horrible news, you know, because you watch. If they said yes to the Sheikhs, you watch them shares have gone through the roof.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And then everyone that's got United shares would have been selling.
I remember last season when you know the rumors came out, and it was even rumors. It was real. It was real that you know the Qatar people were interested, and there was going to be this bidding process, and literally the shares went through the roof. With the expectation, and then as things went on, it dragged on, and then the Glazers started to. I don't know if they, you know, they've got this way of putting stuff out in the media to kind of throw a little spanner in the works, or just throw a little bit of doubt and stuff like that. So the markets, say in terms of the shares, became a little bit unstable because it's like, well, what's going on? You know what I mean?
What's
happening?
But Norman as well. And if you remember the way the media was reporting, at one point there's supposed to be about 8 parties interested in buying Man United. So where are them other 6 parties gone? They just vanished into thin air. You know what I mean? It's nonsense. And even the bidding process. Like, if I'm selling something, this is the worth of it. The club is worth, I want this for the club. I'm not doing a bidding with you, but we could come to a common ground. So if I said I want 7.5 billion for the club, that's my asking price for the club. Because for sale, can you afford it? Now we know the Sheikh can afford it. We know that Jim's completely out of that. And then these lot come with, you know what? So are you going to clear the debt? Are you going to do this? Am I expected to do all these things once I've bought it? Yes, okay, I'm giving you a light 6.2 billion then. And it's a deal, yes or no. But the way is, oh yeah, we're going to wait for bids. Why? You know what you want, and in your head, you know what you think it's worth. And then after a point, it suddenly was, they started talking about the 10 billions. I don't know where that came from. It was like, when you chat about 10 billion? Initially, you all wanted $1 billion each. That was 6 billion. Okay, I'm giving you a light 6.2, and I'm clearing your $1 billion debt. So that's cost me 7.2 billion. Right, sign the paperwork. That's it. I'm not going back and forward doing bids. I'm giving you one bid, and that's the bid. And I'm sitting until you decide, do you want $1 million? Do you want $1 billion each or don't you? And do you want your debt clearing or don't you? And that's why I don't get how this has come to this madness.
Yeah.
It's just like, how hard is it to start a football club?
Listen,
yes, paperwork-wise and due diligence, I get it.
Yeah. I mean, the Qatari...
In terms of a figure, it's a figure, isn't it? You know what you would want for your whip and your house right now.
Yeah.
If you was to move out of London, right, I'm going to sell the house. Jay, this is what we can get. This is what we should be looking at for the house and for the 2 cars or whatever, and we're going to go live somewhere nice and sunny. You know exactly what you would want for that house right now, and you go onto Auto Trader and see what your whip would be fetching. It's not rocket science, Norm. So straight away, the process of bidding told me they were on a foolishness from the beginning. Yeah, Kelvin, most definitely.
Yeah. Bro, D,
definitely gonna mug him. It's mad, Norm. And now I can't even get vexed about it because
I know.
You saw it coming. You saw it coming.
Yeah.
You said this was dragged out too long. This is not going to go the way the fans. Well, I'm going to say the bulk of the fans want it. And then I have to look as well, Norman, just quickly. Just the Muslim factor come into it. I think it does somewhat.
Really?
I think I do. I think so much things in this country have been sold to foreign countries over the years. When you start telling your top sporting brands, it gets a little bit murky, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I feel that if Sir Jim had the 6.2 billion, I think he gets a full sale over them just because he's British-based, UK-based, whatever.
Yeah,
I do. And that might sound a bit harsh, but I just think the way the country's growing, that's a factor. The Muslim Islamic factor is definitely there, unfortunately. Whether we want to admit that or not, people are sensitive to say, "Oh, we shouldn't talk about these things because it's political." But anything's political now.
You had some Man United writers, journalists, that were actually against it because obviously, of the stuff that was going on in that country, the human rights and all of that.
Atrocities,
So they're totally against it anyway. And I suppose
maybe
they're cheering away in their little corner right now.
Right. But, and these same media people won't take a walk down onto the Thames Riverside and buy cups of teas for these homeless people. They do not give a stuff about them. But you're worried about what's going on in the next man's country. Look on your doorstep and see how people have been treated in our country. When I drove from London the other day across the bridge, so many people, I could just see people under the bridge. I said, this is still happening. I didn't realize it was such a thing like that still.
23D. It's out there, bro. Yeah. Right. The rich gets richer, the poor gets poorer.
But we're concerned about what's going on in this country. But our country, we're not going to get in the car and go and buy cups of teas and a hot meal for all their people sat there. You're worried, but you're writing about what allegedly goes on in this country. It's
no, it's crazy, bro. It's absolutely crazy, man. Guys, hit the like button, please, man. Smash that like button. Every time we do this show,
it's quite disturbing, though.
United don't just seem to take priority. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, they're the show toppers right now. You know what I mean? We're just gonna have to see how this all plays out now. We'll see what happens now with Ratcliffe, Jim Ratcliffe. If it gets ratified, we'll see what happens. Because I think some people are hoping that maybe there's gonna be, like you say, there's a new manager bounce, new guy comes in, maybe they might have some money for January. We'll see what happens. We'll see if the proof is in the pudding when it comes to that.
If Jim comes in, I would like him to give Ralph a call. I really would. It probably won't. But bro, give Ralph a call.
Because look, they put him in charge of football operations. As I said,
so he can give Ralph a call.
Do you think
instead coming and being my director of football?
Would he be the one? Again, he wouldn't be the one to sack. Like, if things don't go the way they should, would it be him or would it be? It'd have to be a collective, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but it's normally the director of football. So if the director of football is doing the right things, and Ten Hag is still not getting it right on the pitch, the director of football will recommend to the board that we go in a different direction with the manager, which is deep.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty deep. But like someone like the Sheikh come in, the Sheikh would say, until I start appointing, I'm in charge. I don't like this manager. How much do you need? Yeah, that's your contract. There you go. Here's 25 mil. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So there's that scenario. But I think a director of football comes in and he's bringing in the right players, and this guy is just not getting them to mesh. Yes, that's it. Respect, man. Yeah. It's not getting them to mesh. Then you would look at them recommended to the board that we go in another direction, manager-wise, especially if it looks like he's lost the bulk of the senior players in the dressing room. The younger players just toe the line to what the senior players are doing. We know how that works. But if your Casemiro's, your Rashfords, your Varans, if these guys start looking at him sideways and having their little meetings, then yeah, he could be gone.
Well, rumor has it.
Yeah, that started, isn't it?
Yeah, that started. And some of them not happy with him.
Yeah.
The Man United saga goes on, D.
It's on borrowed time, Normski. It's on borrowed time.
Just quickly move on to the last two, and we'll be really quick on this. And that's just basically Chelsea. You know, we played them this weekend, and look, they've had a little bit of a turnaround in terms of their form.
Huge game, man.
You know, we played them this weekend. I'm hoping that Saka will be fit for this game. There was rumours that Thomas Partey was injured, but I think it was a tactical thing. They were always going to take him off.
Right.
He was playing abroad. I can't remember who he was playing against. I can't remember the club he was playing against, but it was tactical reasons why he was taken off. But I think he's going to be fine. Saka, obviously, he didn't play for England. He missed both the friendly against Australia and the final game against Italy. A qualifying game against Italy, so he didn't go. Saliba didn't go because of a toe injury, but I think he'll be okay.
Be good. Yeah,
I think Saka will be okay. You know what I mean? I'm glad he's got the rest. You know what I mean? Martinelli, you know, coming back from injury and scoring the winner against Man City last week, or week before. Fantastic. Going into another international break, you know, off the back of a win to both Manchester side. The first one was against you guys, and now Man City. And that's kind of given us a bit of a belief, you know, in terms of taking that monkey off our back and that kind of psychological thing of, right, we can now go and, you know, beat Man City. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, you know, you look at that. Don't just think you're going to go into that game now against Chelsea, you know, who, yeah, they don't concede a lot, but they don't score a lot. But for the last couple of 3 games now, so I think the last game they played, they won 4-1. I think it was against Burnley. So and they conceded first as well, and then in the end, you know, they turned it around and done the business. So, you know, you're going into this game at the Bridge. What are your thoughts? You know, looking at the two teams, with Chelsea's form turnaround, winning 3 games on the bounce, and Arsenal still unbeaten in the Premier League. Do you think I suppose the question is, will it be a draw? Will it be a away win, or will it be a home win, or will it be?
I think you guys still take them 2-1 on.
Right.
Maybe 3-1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you say that? Just what have you?
Because they haven't been that clinical,
right?
And you guys are not really conceding much, but you are scoring. Yeah. I think you got the best defensive record. So I just don't see that an international break has you guys coming back sloppy. I think it will be entertaining, but I think just at current form, the way you guys are running, even with the injuries, even if he has to shuffle the pack a little bit, I still think you got a bit too much for Arsenal, for Chelsea still. Yeah. So I'm saying 2-1, 3-1.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Listen, look, if we start off with a double pivot of Rice and Partey, when you saw the difference when he come on.
Exactly.
So if we start off with them two in the middle, they'll be up against the likes of Enzo and Casado.
Yeah.
But I just
as well, Norm.
Yeah.
As well, the the Man City win mentally for you is huge.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So I still think that you ride that wave even against
but
Chelsea.
I don't want us to go into that game where we what's the word I'm looking for? You guys overconfident, and then we need to go in there. I mean, our away record this season is quite good. We conceded more goals at home than we have away. We've got a better away record. And as you said, you know, Chelsea don't score an awful lot of goals, and then they're going to be up against Gabriel.
That's what I'm saying. A solid back.
You know, obviously coming back from Brazil or wherever he's been playing, so he's halfway around the world. So I think they play tonight, and then I think it's tonight they play. Sorry, tell a lie. They play
Brazil, because Casemiro played yesterday as well.
Are they back?
Well, they played last night, so they wouldn't have left until today or tonight.
Yeah,
to fly back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, as you know, that's a heck of a flight, boy.
Yeah, it'll just be complete rest.
Yeah,
complete rest, and then
because the thing is, they don't even have to train that hard. No, they've been on international duty. They don't even have to when they come back. They don't have to. They have to obviously get over the jet lag and just get their legs. You know what I mean? Rather than full trip, because they've been playing and training with the team. So, fitness shouldn't be a problem. Fitness shouldn't be a problem. It's just more about
maybe just
climatizing.
Yeah, I think all it is that the players that Arteta would have had that didn't go on international.
Yeah,
he would have done their tactical stuff with them. Do you know what I mean? And then the guys coming back, he'll just say, "Listen, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to set up. This is how we're going to play." You know what I mean?
Exactly.
An awful.
I suppose that is the only good thing about the international break. That if you go away with your national team and you actually play, then you still keep your match fitness in that 2 weeks because you're playing. Obviously, just light training because you're not trying to burn yourself out. But you're coming back with games in your legs. So it's not like you've been on the beach for 2 weeks and then you say, boy, you know what I mean? I ain't really been doing that running like I should have been. And so that's the only good thing about international breaks, that if you're a key part of the teams that you've gone away with, then when you come back to the Premier League teams or your whatever European teams, that you're not really missing a beat, really, when it comes to game sharpness and everything else. So, I think you have too much for them right now. Okay. Maybe if this game was after Christmas, it may be different. But currently, right now, you got too much for them now.
Yeah.
So 2-1, 3-1. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Nkunku, he probably he's obviously doing ball work now, so he's slowly coming back. But I don't think he'd be ready for this game. I think they were saying that who picked up an injury, but he should be okay for the game. I don't know if they were saying that Reece James could be back for the game, but then he's just coming back from injury. So
so he probably won't start him anyway, will he?
And that, so he'll probably be on the bench.
Is he the captain there now? No, he's captain there now, isn't he? Is he captain there?
Well, they actually gave it. Gallagher was wearing the armband for a while.
I think in his absence, I think Reece James might be. I think.
Whilst he's been off the field, it's been Gallagher. Colwell, is it Colwell, the one that came from Man City?
Yeah,
he got a dead leg. Playing in the under 23s, I think. Or was it not Colwell?
Right. For England.
Yeah, but he's back. He's back. I think he should be okay.
Yeah,
he should be okay. So, I mean, it's going to be an interesting game. But I think 2-1 to Arsenal. I'm going to probably go 2-1 to Arsenal. We carry on with that unbeaten run, and then I think once we play Chelsea away, we've got Sheffield United at home, but I think smack in between that we got Sevilla game away.
Oh yeah, Champions League.
So we've got all that to contend with.
Yeah, I can't remember who we got now.
And then we'll just see what happens. And I've just looking at that with the amount of games that we have to play, we then have to kind of look at our squad and think, what do we need in January? What is it that we need in January? So that's our last point, is what do you think your players need in January? Now, I know this is probably more like a wish list for you because now. You know what I mean? I mean, we're if you just say who we're linked with, Arsenal, we're linked with Ivan Toney, Pedro Neto, those are like two of the two key players. There's another guy.
Neto is a midfielder, right? No, or defender.
He's a right wing attacking midfielder.
Right? Yeah.
Wolves. Yeah. Now you're probably looking at about maybe 40 to 50 mil for him. Ivan Toney, Brentford want about 80.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, ideally, I would want these two players because Neto would be that backup for Saka, and Ivan Toney would be the one to come in and be that proper number 9. Yeah. And the only problem is that, do I see Arteta doing it? And I mean, some people are saying that Arteta is really interested in him, but I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, well, look, Eddie Nketiah.
You think the money's there, no? You think the money's there?
Well, if they're talking about them, I think they have to be cute with it. The deals, they're gonna have to be cute with it. So they would need to sell more players. Now, if you don't know, ESR is linked with a move away. To Newcastle. Yeah, he's been linked with Newcastle. And I think
that's not a bad move, is it?
Price tag that Arsenal put on his head is 50 mil. Now, I don't think we'll get 50 mil. I think it'd probably be more like 40, probably. I reckon about 40.
Yeah, because he hasn't been playing him, has he? He hasn't been playing
him, and do you know what I mean? And he's not getting the game time, and it just really frustrates me how this guy's not getting in over the likes of Havertz. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Do you know what I mean?
It doesn't make any sense, does it?
It doesn't make no sense.
But you know what, Norm? Don't forget, it's a saving face as well.
Yeah, we know that.
When you ever play for a player like Havertz, Mount,
no, the thing is,
you've got to be seen to be playing him, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. But at the end of the day, ESI, he's come through. He's a hail ender. And
I feel bad for him. Injuries kind of bad.
He's 2-3 seasons ago. He saved Arteta's back from sack because he come through scoring 10 goals in that season where we finished. I think we finished 5th in that season. Yeah. Now, for me, you know what I mean. I just think he's a better ball carrier than Havertz. For me, he scores goals, and he's more direct. You know what I'm saying? And right, he's got that famous number 10 shirt on, and I remember when he signed the contract. You know what I mean? Because he was linked. Aston Villa wanted him. Even this season, we heard that he was linked with Chelsea. You know what I mean? Talk about him going to Chelsea. Stuff like that. The thing is, I don't want to let him go, but then I'm looking at it and saying to myself, well, look, we need an out-and-out striker, and in order for us to fund this deal, we may need to sell. Do you know what I mean? There's the likes of Reece James, we could even sell him, even though, not Reece James, sorry, Reece Nelson, who we've just given a 4-year deal, £100,000 a week, but he's not getting no game time. So is it just to protect his value? Whatever. If we can get a 20 mil, 25 mil for him, you know what I mean? Along with an ESR thingy, then you go and get an Ivan Toney, you go and get a Neto in. Do you know what I mean? What's this here? Just one here. Ivan Toney, big part of January sales. Brentford can't keep. No, they can't keep him. I mean, they've kind of given him the green light. You know what I mean? They come out and giving him the green light. And it'd
be interesting to if he said where he fancies to go, Norm, as well.
He's at Real Sociedad. And he's on loan to Real Sociedad now. He's doing a loan deal there, so I don't think. I think he's got to see out the rest of the loan deal. I don't think they. Right, we want to.
Could have put right,
yeah. Big up to sentiments, man. Late to the party.
What's going on, my guy?
Last point. But please hit that like button, smash that like button, subscribe and share if you're new. And listen back to the playback, bro. Some good points. We was talking about mental fortitude with players of yesterday and today's type of players. We looked at the Man United situation. If you have been listening, we talked about the Man United situation and what's going on with the deal and stuff like that. Osimhen or Tony Jets? Listen, Osimhen, 150 mil, what Napoli want. I don't think we get him in the January. If we wait till the summer and he wants to come, there's going to be other players. Chelsea could just slam that money down and say, we can.
Because Chelsea do need an out and out, don't they?
Exactly. Tony. The thing about Tony is that for me, Tony knows the Premier League. Yeah.
Plus, I think he wants to stay in London as well, no?
as well. But
I think he would prefer to stay in London as well. Yeah.
Osimhen is whether he hits the ground running. Yeah. It's whether he hits that ground running, because the thing for me is like Haaland done it. He's come in and he's hit the ground running. Osimhen, you're taking a gamble whether that's going to happen or not, but you know for a fact that Tony, he knows the Premier League.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He can run the channels. He can hold the ball up well, and he can score goals. And
he'll
get your 20. People say his penalties. I don't care. He gets you goals. Simple as.
So he literally kicks back in the second week of January, right?
Yeah. I think he's training now. And even playing.
Okay, cool.
Is he playing?
Behind closed doors?
Yeah, I think he's had some behind the door, closed doors.
Okay.
My understanding. So look, Brentford are saying 80 mil. I think we could get him for about 60, 65. That'd be great. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Chucking an Nketiah in there as well was part of the deal, and we see our ground. But the the only problem is that you've got Jesus, who was asked to come to Arsenal to be that number 9. He's come out and said it.
Yeah.
You know, so does Arteta mess up the apple cart, so to speak? You know, he's given. You see where the problem is. Yeah, is that he's done sentiment value here, man. He's gone and said, "Yeah, Eddie, he's the number 14 shirt, and here's 100,000 a week." Yeah, and now he's our backup. He's our backup striker. I was listening to a podcast earlier on today, D. Right? Since okay, I'll give away. How many goals do you think Eddie Nketiah has scored? How many goals has he scored up until this point? So from last season, so from from January last season to now, how many goals has Eddie Nketiah has scored?
I'm gonna say about 10, maybe.
How many?
10.
10. So 27. So 27 games. So I'm including last season and
27 games.
So I'm
right. Yeah.
27. So in 27 games, yeah. You said he because so that's January last year to October of this year. You're saying he scored 10 goals.
I think so. Yeah.
So that's about 27 games.
Yeah. Thereabouts, yeah.
Right. So 27 games and he scored 10 goals. 2.
Oh no!
That was
he's not clinical at all, is he?
That was this year, yeah. Fulham, Nottingham Forest, yeah. Wow. Last time he scored, guess what? The last game that he scored, it was the team that he scored against.
Probably yes.
Yep.
Wow, that's wild, no? Because he had a lot of starts, especially when Jesus was injured. He started a lot of games.
Yeah,
that's why I'm saying around 10.
Yeah, wow, no, but I'm doing it from. I'm not doing it from the say because you're going into January whatever. So basically January.
So you're doing January 2022.
Sorry, January of this year. January. Of
Right. I was thinking of 2022. Yeah, fair enough.
My mistake. My apologies.
But saying that you got the back end of last season into 2 goals.
27 games.
Wow. So he's not even being effective off the bench, is he? Goodness.
You know what I mean? So this is the problem.
And that's the problem, isn't it? That's the problem.
Arteta's going to stick with him. Yeah? He's going to stick with him. That is the problem. He's going to stick with him.
This is what I was saying about Martial. Even if Martial makes us look more cohesive, he's not scoring enough still.
Yeah, absolutely, sentiments. You take the sentiments. Take the sentiments from.
But Jesus can play wide, no?
Yeah,
he can play on either flank. He can play either flank.
Yeah, we know that. But the problem is yes, he can play on that side. But the problem is that you got a situation here. We need depth in our squad. We need quality and depth in our side. Eddie Nketiah is not quality depth. Because as I've just said to you, 2 goals in 27 games. That's not enough.
Well,
Premier League.
I was having wild thoughts when I was convinced that we were going to go with the Sheikh. That we would persuade Ivan Toney to come in the summer and play Haaland on the left like how Liverpool plays Salah.
Yep.
And you have Haaland, Toney, and Rashford across the front three.
Yep.
And watch their man cook. You know what I mean? I was dreaming, bro.
Bro?
Seriously, that would be wild.
You're going to wake
Haaland
up
can play off the right. I think he can play off the right.
Yeah.
It's like how Salah plays off the right.
Yeah.
So you got 3 attacking-minded front three that, and to be fair, Rashford and him could be interchangeable. And I actually think Toney can play off the right as well. So you could you have a
that's what I'm saying.
three.
What it is that, look, if you're going to be a top quality side, the manager has to be ruthless to a degree and stop, being, I'm going to ruffle feathers. Ruffle the feathers.
Well, he did it with the goalkeeper.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm trying to say, when Jesus came to Man City, right, the sort of game that Pep wanted was a game where the team was pressing, right, and Jesus was that press merchant, He dropped Aguero,
he did. I remember.
That was not Aguero's game. That was not Aguero's game, because basically Pep said, I want you, this is the style that I want you to do, and you're not playing what I'm telling you to do. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you out the firing line. I'm going to put Jesus in there because Jesus is doing what I require. Yeah. When you get
he made him an impact player, didn't he, for a while?
Right. But when he came on as an impact player, what did he do? He scored.
Exactly.
He scored. Yeah. Until the man got it. Till the man got it. Jesus went back either on the bench, or if he did come on, he would just come on and probably either play on the left or the right.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So what I'm saying is, you get Ivan Toney, and you two fight it out, or
exactly
you sell Nketiah, and then Ivan Toney, because listen, you've got expensive players sitting on the bench. Yeah, Man City have got them. Exactly. You rotate because there's loads of games.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might even play the two of them. Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. Two up front. Yeah, and switch it up. Yeah.
Just got to change it up, bro. Just got to change it up. So I don't know. I mean, we're linked hard with him. We're linked hard with him. So I still think we need another midfielder because Partey's not getting any younger. I'm questioning this thing about he's always injured. You know what I mean? He's not a long-term injury. You know what I mean? And as I said, he's come on, and he's
just blocks here and there. It's nothing major, is it?
Business. Jorginho, he could possibly go because he's down to his last 6 months. He can start talking to teams abroad.
Exactly.
Teams abroad. So, and then El Nene gets another contract. Man's crying out his eyes. He can't believe it. You know what I mean?
I know, it's mad, isn't it?
You know what I mean? But if we lose Declan, we're down to Jorginho.
That's the problem. Yeah, it's a problem, isn't it? Yeah.
Problem. So we need to go and get in. I think what we'll probably do in the summer is look at maybe reinforcing the midfield. Yeah, I know we're linked with Douglas Luiz again. We've been linked with him again.
Aston Villa.
Aston Villa, yeah.
He can play, man. I like him.
So, we'll see what happens. Even I was watching Curtis Shaw TV, and there's this other thing, Calvin Phillips. Yeah,
the thing is, no,
the move to Arsenal.
The thing is, I'm looking at Calvin Phillips, and I'm saying,
I don't think he'll do well at us.
No one got. The thing is, City have ruined him.
Yeah. He doesn't look. He looks half the player.
He was a bad man at Leeds, and so
half the player.
He stayed too long, and he stayed too long.
Yeah.
At City, just being this not even park player because he hardly getting any minutes.
Yeah.
But he needs to go to a resurrected club, and maybe not a pressure of a big club. I think coming to any of the big clubs, I think maybe a bit much. If he went to a Brighton, maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
some people was even saying like Newcastle. Even Newcastle.
Yeah, true. Yeah, Newcastle. Yeah. Man's like Eddie Howe and all that. Yeah, I mean,
always.
Yeah, he has to get at Man City.
Keep Jesus if he wants to stay. We are stronger to have them both. It may work. Jesus is more suited to Champions League, and Yeah.
Only, Cup and Premier League.
That's what we need. We just need.
Because Ivan Turner's had no European experience really. Has he?
No, that's what I'm going to say.
He's had what, one or two England call-ups.
Yeah.
So he's not used to that big stage yet in that sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I look at us now just quickly. We need a centre back, and yeah, a centre back, and another attacking option. Because I think if Haaland gets injured, we're screwed again. You can't rely on Martial. So that's what I would look at strengthening. Centre backs, you know what I mean? I'd actually look at Lewis Dunk, you know?
Yeah, from Brighton.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how old he's at. I should have checked, but someone that can come in.
I think he's about 27, something like that.
Right, so he's got legs in him still, man. Lewis Dunk, and he's been getting the England nod as well, hasn't he? Lewis Dunk.
Yeah.
So now as an England international, you're probably going to overpay a little bit, and not only that, he hits the ground running. He doesn't have to get bedded in. He's just moving from south to north. So I thought about him. People say, oh, he's not world class, but he's solid.
Yeah.
And being at a bigger club, maybe he becomes world class. Playing alongside.
Shane. He's 31. He's 31.
Is he 31? Oh wow! So yeah, maybe that's too old then. I thought he was like 27.
He's 31. I thought he was like 27.
All right, scratch that then. Scratch Lewis Dunk. I'm struggling now. I'm struggling then. No, centre back. I'm struggling. Maybe we go abroad. But yeah, he is right. There you go. Sentiment saying it. He is right. But I thought he was younger than that.
Yeah, I thought he was.
Man, look at Maldini, man. That's all I say. Look at Maldini. You know what I'm saying? It's like, 39 years old, man was still playing. You know, Maldini. You know,
Dunk
Maldini. But yeah.
So what? So a defender.
A defender and a striker for me. And dare I say it, we could be looking for a goalkeeper soon if Onana doesn't settle down. Which is wild, isn't it? Which is wild.
I don't know. I mean,
45 million that cost us, wasn't it? 45 mil or thereabouts. Yeah.
And he's a good ball player. As Sedman was saying, he's a good ball player.
Yeah. Well, for him to get in to the England squad this late in his stage in his career tells you that he's doing something right. I'm not giving that credit to Southgate, but I'm just saying that he can angle himself. He's not afraid to roll his sleeves up and defend. Great in the air. Yeah, we just because Varane, we got to phase Varane out. His injuries too much now.
Yeah,
he's not going to give us a run of games. He's not. You know, he's going to get 2-3 games out of him, and he's going to feel a tweak again, and you'll be like, here we go again. And that just makes us inconsistent at the back. You need someone solid that's there all the time, and then one other person that comes in and out. It doesn't really matter. But you need someone to be. And if he's not trusting Harry. And we can't put that pressure on Evans. Evans is there for the cup games and whatever you want to help out. So you don't want to put the pressure on Johnny Evans either. But and maybe you play him with Harry because if he's getting engaged with Harry in England, because John Stones has been injured, and so if you look at that, we could have 2 England centre backs there, even if it's by default with Harry. I don't know, but you know what I mean. He loves him. He said, "You don't let me down." I remember he's telling people that he thinks he's the best defender at Man United. So he clearly don't watch Man United play, does he? And so, it's kind of interesting.
It's 100%, 100% win ratio, bro, when he plays.
Yeah, he's letting us know that. And
he's played once.
Because the thing is, in theory, he should play at the weekend. Harry should play at the weekend. I don't actually mind that. It's Sheffield United. How much can Sheffield United
Sheffield
really travel?
If you don't beat Sheffield, mate, it's seriously wrong.
I'm actually going to back us this weekend against them.
Yeah, no,
in our fantasy prediction thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking if we can't do a job there, then we got a problem. No, that's the truth. Man. We got a serious problem. Yeah. Southgate is buzzing. What? Cali Patland. Cali Patland.
So that's what I think Arsenal need. Whether it happens or not, that's my wish list. I'm hoping to get at least 2 of them. If I get 2 of them, it might just push us over the line. Because look, City, they're the favourites still. They're the favourites, and for me,
and they're the favourites that have wobbled as well, and wobbled early. They've wobbled early, so I don't know if that's good or bad for them.
No, but normally
they start slow, don't
they? Normally they start off slow.
Slow, yeah.
Won their first 6 games,
right, and then they wobbled, which is just weird.
To wobble later on,
yeah.
So yes, they have a little shaky start. They have their little wobble, and then they just go right. Let's turn on the afterburners and let's go.
Yeah, because they won their first 6, and they've lost their last 3. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
if you include the Carabao Cup in that.
Yeah.
Because they lost to Newcastle.
Yeah.
Then they lost to Wolves, and then they lose to us.
Yeah. So if you look at that wobble
back to back, that's the first time they've done that since 2018. Yeah,
and I think that's what's worrying, that they had the early wobble. You would have rather they have a late wobble than an early wobble. Like have a wobble in March or April rather than now.
I mean, listen, it all depends. I mean, obviously Rodri will be back.
3 game back, isn't it?
I just think with De Bruyne, the fact that he's having, he's had to have an operation on his thigh or his what you call it, hamstring.
Pep, right?
It doesn't bode. When I say it doesn't bode well, I mean he may come back and hit the ground running. But when you start having operations on hamstring, the likelihood is that it could go.
It will go again.
Do you know what I mean?
This is where Pep should have just given Foden that De Bruyne role, because he doesn't have De Bruyne tracking back and all that. He just said go out and create.
Yeah, just
let Foden create. Pep always overthinks that, And the thing is, it's hurting Haaland.
Yeah,
because Haaland's his
XG in the last 2 games.
Yeah, it's like I'm nervous to captain him now. Yeah, because he ain't getting no service. It's like he needs service.
Crazy that you're right. Even, you know what I mean? Because
you're nervous to captain Haaland.
I'm sure you would have put him in your last game, and I'm sure.
I had Salah. I captain Salah. Okay, captain Salah. Because I watched it and I said he's getting no service. And against you guys, you need service. He needs service against a team like Arsenal. So I looked at it and I went, I'm going to gamble on Salah. So I went Salah. Salah, he got a goal and an assist. So that was the right move. Yeah. That was the right move for me. But I looked at it and I went, imagine me saying I ain't going to captain Haaland. And I did it. I said, you know what? I'm rolling the dice here.
Well, you're looking at his.
He looks frustrated, no. Yeah, he looks frustrated out there,
Mind you, he did score in his international.
Is he? Good stuff.
Goals. But in Norway, they could be on the brink of going out. They've got to. I can't remember who they've got to play because they. I can't remember in their group who won. They won that game, which meant that Norway. Did they lose that game? I can't remember if they lost it or they won it 1-0 or something like that. But it wasn't enough to get them to qualify automatically. So I think they're sitting for fourth. I think so. They're gonna have to play like a third place playoff. That playoff.
Oh to qualify. All right.
That's what's gonna happen. So they
could come and stop there.
Their what's the name looks a little bit on the balance at the moment. What I mean, whether they get into Europe next season. But it is what it is. But people,
man,
it's been a pleasure, guys. Hit that like button, please. Yeah, I know we're not the biggest channel. We do it for the fun of it. But whilst you're on here, hit that like button. When you get off, hit that like button. Get us up to whatever it says, because obviously it's the likes that gets us a little bit more traction. So please, once you view this, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, and share. If you're new, as I say, hopefully on the way to 300, only 6 off 300. So let's see if we can do that before the year is out. But I would like to thank everybody in the chat for coming in, taking part, and just giving your views. I really appreciate it. Thank you again to Big D for coming on the show.
My God.
I'm as I said, I'm opposite the Principality Stadium. I'm not doing it from London. I'm in good old Wales, Cardiff.
Cardiff.
Opposite the Principality, which was formerly known as the Millennium Stadium. And it's a pity because I was talking to my mate when we played Chelsea up here. I think it was in the FA Cup or the League Cup, and I think Walcott scored in that game, but we ended up losing that game 2-1. And my mate said it was a wasted journey. It was a wasted journey, but it is. DJ, pull it up. Pull it up. Yeah. But listen, rewind selector, as they would say.
Yeah. Come again.
Thank you very much. Take care. Yeah. God bless. And I'll be back in London next week. But D, don't forget, it's the game week 9 of our prediction. So
predictions. First guys.
We missed that last week because obviously it was an international break. But this week, for the lads in our personal chat, get in your predictions for game week 9. Chile is topping it. I think D's in second place. I think I'm in third or fourth.
Yeah.
And hopefully, I can't remember. I think his might be in fifth or whatever, but I can't remember. But yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But people, as I said, hit that like button, smash that like button, subscribe and share if you're new, and we'll see you on the next What's Going On podcast. Take care.
Yes, guys.
And God bless.